Alright, your selected violation, Federal Underground Storage Tank Regulation, Subpart B, System Design, Construction, Installation, Notification. You have your installation properly constructed with fiberglass reinforced plastic tank. Installation properly designed construction metal tank fails to meet with the corrosion protection standard. With installation metal tank with the unsuitable dielectrical coating. Installation properly designed cathodic protection system metal tank. Improper installation cathodic protection system metal tank. For metal tank, improper operation of the tank with the cathodic protection system. Installation properly constructed steel fiberglass reinforced plastic tank. Installation of improperly constructed fiberglass reinforced plastic piping. Fail to provide any cathodic protection for metal piping. Installing piping with the undesirable dielectric coating, installing improperly designed cathodic protection metal piping, improper installation cathodic protection system for piping, improper operation maintenance of the cathodic protection system for metal piping, failure to use spill prevention system, any overfill prevention system, installation inadequate spill prevention equipment in the new tank, installation inadequate overfill equipment in the new tank, failure to install the tank in accordance with accepted codes and standards, failure to install piping in accordance with accepted codes and standards, failure to provide any certification underground storage tank installation, failure to perform replacement upgrade closure of the existing standard tank system, failure to meet all tank upgrade standards, improper installation interior lining of the tank with the upgrade requirements, failure to meet the interior lining inspection requirements of tank upgrade, failure to ensure the tank is structurally sound before installing cathodic protection, failure to conduct monthly relief the detection monitoring upgrade tank under 10 years of age, failure to meet the tightness for the test requirement of the tank upgrade with cathodic protection, failure to meet requirements of the testing corrosion hold of the tank upgrade with the cathodic protection, failure to install the cathodic protection for the metal piping upgrade requirements, failure to meet with the piping tightness test requirements of metal piping after the upgrade with the cathodic protection, failure to provide spill overfill prevention with the system with existing tank. 28022 notification requirements. Failure to notify state local agency within 30 days bringing the underground storage tank system into use. Failure to notify design state and local agency with existing tank. Failure to submit with a separate notification with identified with all the known tanks for each site with where the tank is located. Failure to certify notification underground storage tank system requirements of the proper installation, cathodic protection, financial responsibility, release detection. Failure to provide installer certification complying with the installation requirements on the notification form. Failure to inform tank purchaser of the notification of the requirements. Alright, 28030, spill overfill control. Failure to leak necessary precaution to prevent overfill spill during the transfer of the product. Failure to report spill overfill. Failure to investigate cleanup of the spill or overfill. 28031, operation maintained with the corrosion protection. Failure to operate, maintain corrosion protection system continuously. Failure to ensure proper operation of cathodic protection. Failure to inspect and press current systems every 60 days. Failure to maintain record of the cathodic protection inspection. 28032, compatibility. Failure to ensure that the underground storage tank is made of their line material capable and compatible with the substance stored. 28033, repairs allowed. Failure to repair underground storage system in accordance with the accepted code of the chain. Failure to repair fiberglass reinforced underground storage tank in accordance with the accepted code of the chain. Failure to replace with metal piping that has been released from the product. Failure to repair fiberglass reinforced piping in accordance with the manufacturer's specification. Failure to ensure that the repaired tank and system are tight and tested with a 30-day completion of the repair. Failure to test of the cathodic protection within 6 months of the repair of the underground storage tank system. Failure to maintain records of each of the repair at underground storage tank system. 283-34, reporting and record keeping. For violation, reporting record keeping, see appropriate regulatory section. Reporting releases with under subpart D. Alright, your failure to submit the notification for the underground storage tank system. Failure to submit the certification with the installation notification form. Failure to maintain and analysis site corrosion potential for the corrosion protection. Equipment is not used. Failure to maintain corrosion protection. Equipment operation documentation. Failure to maintain the documentation underground storage system repairs. Failure to maintain documentation compliance. Failure to meet the required records of the underground storage site when immediately available for the inspection. Failure to maintain records readily available for the alternative site. Alright, subpart D, release detection. 28040, general requirements of all underground storage tanks applies only to petroleum tanks. Failure to provide adequate release detection, $300. Failure to notify the implementing agency release detection indicates release. Failure to provide release detection method, the phase and date. Failure to close an underground storage tank system that cannot meet the release detection requirements. 28041, requirements of petroleum and underground storage tank systems. Failure to meet the monitor of the tanks at least every 30 days, but if appropriate, failure to conduct tank tightness testing every 5 years, if appropriate, failure to conduct annual tank tightness tests, and if appropriate, failure to equip pressurized piping with the automatic line leak detector, failure to have the annual tanking tightness test, perform monthly monitoring and pressurized piping, failure to conduct line tightness tests using monthly monitoring and suction point piping. 28042 requirements of hazardous substance underground storage tank systems. Failure to provide leak detection system with existing hazardous substance tank system. Failure to provide adequate release detection new hazardous substance underground storage tank system. Failure to provide adequate secondary containment of the hazardous substance underground storage tank. Failure to provide adequate double the wall with the tank, adequate lining hazardous substance underground storage tank. Failure to provide adequate external liners for hazardous substance underground storage tank. Failure to provide adequate secondary containment for the piping in the hazardous substance underground storage tank. 28043 method of the release detection of the tank. Inadequate maintenance of the inventory control. Inadequate operation maintenance of the manual tanking gauge. Inadequate operation maintenance of the tank with the tightness. Inadequate operation maintenance of the automatic tanking gauge. Inadequate operation maintenance of vapor monitoring. Inadequate operation maintenance of the groundwater monitoring. Inadequate operation maintenance of the interstitial monitoring. 28044 method of the releasing of the pipe, detecting for piping. Failure to provide any release detection for the underground pipe with the failure to provide adequate line leak detector system underground piping. Failure to provide adequate line tightness test system underground piping system. And adequate use of the applicable tank release detection system methods. 28045 release detection record keeping. Failure to maintain record of the release detection monitoring. Failure to document all release detection performance claim of the 5 years after installation. Failure to maintain resolve of the sample testing monitoring release detection for at least 1 year of the failure to resolve of the tightness testing until the next test is conducted. Failure to document calibration, maintenance, repair, and release for the detection. If citing more than 3 subsections cited 28043B or 28041A, asterisk pound sign if citing more than 1 subsection cited 28043E, and an at says symbol if citing more than 1 subsection cited 28043F. Alright, subpart E, release from reporting investigation confirmation. 28050, report of suspected release. Failure to report suspected release within 24 hours of implementing agent. 28052, for the release investigation confirmation steps. Failure to investigate, confirm, release if appropriate using accepted procedures. 28053, record cleanup and spills or overfills. Failure to report a spill, overfill, and appropriate implementing agents 24 hours within 24 hours other than the specified time period. Failure to contain and immediately clean up the spill overfill of less than 25 gallons. Failure to contain and immediately clean up the hazardous substance spill overfill. 28061 initial response. Failure to initial response action specified time after the release is confirmed. 28062 an initial abatement measure site check. Failure to perform initial abatement measure submit report within 20 days other specified time release confirmation. 28063 initial site characterization. Failure to submit the report on initial site characterization within 40 days over the specified time release of confirmation. 28064 free product removal. Failure to perform free product removal, then submit the report with the 45 days over the specified time release confirmation. Alright, subpart G, out of service the underground storage systems and closures. Temporary closure. Failure to continue operation made with the corrosion protection system, temporary closed tank system. Failure to continue operation made with the clean release detection and temporary closed tank system. Failure to comply with the temporary closure requirements of the tank system for 3 or more months. Failure to permanently close upgrade temporary closed tank system for each 12 months. 28071 permanent closure changing in service. Failure to notify implement agencies closure and change in service. The failure to remove all liquids and sludges for the tank closure. Failure to remove closed tank from the ground fill tank within air solid from the tank closure. Failure to empty or clean tank system. Conduct an on-site assessment prior to changing in service. 28072 assessing the site of closure changing in service. Failure to measure if required with the presence of the release before permanent closure if contains soil contaminated groundwater free of product discovered. Failure to begin being corrective action. 28074 closure records. Failure to maintain closure records for at least 3 years. Failure to maintain charge and change in service records for at least 3 years. 28093 amount and scope required with the financial responsibility. Failure to comply with the financial responsibility requirements required in phase of time. Failure to meet the requirements of per occurrence coverage and insurance. Failure to meet the requirements of the annual aggregated coverage of the insurance. Failure to review the and adjust financial insurance after requiring new and additional underground storage tanks. 280.94, allowing mechanism combination mechanisms using an approved mechanism combination mechanism to demonstrate financial responsibility. 280.95, financial testing self-insurance, use falsified financial documents to pass financial tests of self-insurance. 280.106, reporting an owner and operator failure to report evidence financial responsibility, implementing agency with a 30-day detection known as suspected release. Failure to report evidence financial responsibility, implementing agency provided with an incapable of providing financial assistance to the owner and operator is unable to obtain alternate coverage within 30 days. Failure to report evidence of the financial responsibility to implement agency with the new tanks are installed. 280.107, the record keeping. Failure to maintain copies of the assurance mechanism used to comply with the financial responsibility rule certification mechanism compliance with the requirements of the rule of the underground storage tank site or place of business. Alright, your underground storage tank environmental protection agency region Main Street U.S. expedited enforcement compliance order and settlement agreement in part 1, compliance order in part 2, settlement agreement and compliance order number on day of violation time AM PM and the name of the facility, address of facility identification number, the name of the owner and operator on site representative, the address of the owner and operator on site representative, and then the authorized representative of the United States Environmental Protection Agency inspect with the determined complying with the underground storage tank regulation complicated subtitle 1 Resource Conservation Recovery Act of 1976. During the inspection violations, underground storage tank regulations were found. Corresponding penalty, Title 40 CFR, penalty amount, name of the violation. Alright, Part 2, Settlement Agreement. The United States Environmental Protection Agency offers of the settlement agreement. They expedite the enforcement procedure with the order of the set of the violation or for the compliance order. Part 1, form of the subject following terms and conditions. Owner operator signing below, certified with a symbol and criminal penalties, making a false submission to the United States government. Owner and operator correcting the violation. Close. Certified check on the payment of the full payment amount with the described with the compliance order. Upon the EPA of the approval of the settlement of the agreement, the EPA will take no further against the owner and operative violation described with the compliance order. The EPA that does not waive the enforcement action by the EPA with the state of the facility located with any of the local agency, other path of the present future violation underground storage tank, requires any other violation under any other statute not described in the compliance order. Also, use the EPA final over the settlement of the agreement of the owner and operative waive the opportunity of the public hearing with the pursuant of the 9006 of the Resource Conservation Recovery Act. Settlement agreement is binding with the EPA, with the owner, of the operative, with the sign below, with the owner and operative signs below, waive the objections of the EPA jurisdiction with respect to the compliance over the settlement agreement and consent with the EPA final approval of the settlement agreement. Without further notice, the settlement agreement is effective with the EPA final approval below. Upon final approval, EPA shall mail a copy of the approved settlement agreement to the owner. The owner and operator of both the facility hereby ordered to correct for the violation, pay penalty for the described. The compliance order is not an adjunctionary proceeding within Title 40 CFR Part 22, the consolidated rule practice with government administrative assessment, civil penalty, revocation, suspension, permanent must issue solely with the reinforcement of the settlement agreement. The Part 2 of the settlement agreement, the Part 2 is not return the correct form of the owner and operator for 30 days for the day of the restriction below with the authorized representative of the EPA compliance. Order is hereby withdrawn with the prejudice of the EPA with the ability to file additional enforcement action with above and any other violations. I have personally above violations, owner and operator violation over the above reference underground state regulations. Signature authorized representative EPA. I hereby acknowledge compliance order settlement agreement. Signature owner and operator on instructions. Then the operator signs below final settlement agreement. The sole discretion regional and administrative regions EPA of the authorized delegated. Signature by owner, named title, signature, final approval date, name, title, and signature. Alright, your instruction, United States Environmental Protection Agency, have the authority in Section 9006 of the Resource Recovery Act, if it is an issue with compliance with the pursuit civil penalties violation underground storage tank regulation, have with the EPA with incurred for the expedited settlement of easily verifiable violation underground storage tank requirements. Such violations have with the enforcement compliance order settlement agreement with the instructions of the provided with agreeing with the settlement term that include the expedited correction for the violation penalties. You may resolve the title of the violation quickly, sign with a returning settlement agreement, the paying of the penalty amount within 30 days. Issuing with the compliance order, you must correct with the violation within 30 days. Issuing with the compliance order, EPA is in discretion may grant one of a 30-day extension period of compliance with the owner and operator satisfactorily with the demonstration of the technically infeasible and practical to achieve the compliance within 30 days with the settlement agreement that is binding with the EPA with the owner and operator with the upon with the EPA final approval. EPA final approval in the settlement agreement to comply with the terms of the EPA will take with no further action again for those for the violation. EPA will not accept with approve any settlement of the agreement of return with more than 30 days after the date of the compliance order unless the extension has been granted by the EPA. The compliance order is not a junctionary proceeding with the Title 40 CFR Part 22. It's all a rules practice governing administrative assessments for the civil penalties, revocation, suspension permits of the issued solely with a reference to settlement agreement in Part 2 of this form. If you do not return the settlement agreement with the payment of the penalty with the amount 30 days of the issue under the unless the extension of the grant with the EPA with the compliance order will be withdrawn without prejudice for the EPA with the ability for the additional enforcement action for above any other violation failure to return the settlement agreement that will approve the time that does not relieve the responsibility to comply with the full regulation, including correcting violations that have been specifically identified by the inspector of the EPA with the pursuit of the administrative enforcement measure in order to correct the violation or to seek penalty for the you will receive the instruction describing the right for the consolidated rules practice for the governing administrative assessment, civil right penalties, revocation, suspension of the permit of Title 40 CFR Part 22. You're required to, under settlement agreement, to provide that you have corrected the violation, have the compliance order, paid penalty for the payment of the penalty amount must be in form of certified check with the payable to the Treasurer of the United States of America within the number of the compliance order written on the check. Settlement agreement, a copy of the check that will be sent to the Underground Storage Tank Program, U.S. Environmental Agency, Protection Agency, Region Main Street, USA. Payment of the penalty shall be spent to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, Region PSI, Main Street, USA. But the terms of the settlement agreement, the EPA final approval of the settlement of the agreement of the waive of the opportunity of the public hearing of the pursuant of Section 9006 of the Resource Conservation Recovery Act of the EPA will treat in any of the response of the citation other than acceptance settlement offered with the indication of the recipient that is not interested in pursuing expedited settlement procedure. Final approved settlement agreement is sole discretion regional administrator of the region and the EPA, the authorized delegated. If you have any questions, you may contact the EPA Regional Underground Storage Tank at blank. Alright, expedited enforcement compliant with the settlement agreement for approved dates, and it shows Part 1 compliance order, and it goes over the same thing we did just a second ago with the same instructions, and that concludes the United States Environmental Protection Agency Office of Solid Waste and Emergency Directive 961-016 Guidance of Federal Citation Enforcement October 6, 1993. Origination Office Osworth.